For 200 years, the ship floated in silence. It did not move, it did not speak, and it did not allow anyone inside. It drifted near a dying star at the edge of the galaxy. The ship was black, huge, and shaped like an arrowhead. No one knew who built it. Some thought it was made by a lost god. Others said it was a weapon from an ancient war. But one thing was certain: no one could control it. Many alien races tried. The Sarn sent their best engineers. The Varnax used powerful mind readers. The Driel even tried to blow it open with star bombs. Nothing worked. The ship remained silent and untouched. And those who tried to force their way in, most never came back. Those who did were broken. They'd whispered nonsense or screamed until they died. The galaxy gave the ship a name: Oblivion. Over the years, species gave up. They feared it, respected it, avoided it. But still, they watched it from afar, waiting to see if it would ever open. On the side of the ship, strange symbols glowed. One day, a translator AI cracked the code. The message was short, but it sent chills across the stars. I will follow only the worthy. The Galactic Council held many meetings. Who was worthy? What did the ship mean? No one knew. Every great empire had failed to claim it. So, as a joke, or maybe in desperation, they invited one more species to try: humans. Humanity was new to the galactic stage. Just 50 years ago, they were still fighting over oil and politics. But now, with faster-than-light travel, they were slowly joining the wider galaxy. Some aliens saw humans as weak, emotional, and chaotic. Others feared their strange luck and quick learning, but none believed they were worthy of oblivion. Still, the Council sent an offer. Earth accepted it quickly. The chance to study the most mysterious ship in the galaxy was too big to ignore. A small team was chosen: one diplomat, one engineer, one AI expert, and 2 soldiers. All were calm, smart, and trained. The ship had killed many before, so they were also told they might not return. But they agreed. Humans had always taken risks. This was no different. When the human ship arrived near Oblivion, the giant black structure turned slightly. It had never moved before. That alone shocked every watching species. The human pilot whispered, "Is it looking at us?" No one knew. The diplomat, Captain Rhea, stood tall. "Time to meet the unknown," she said. The human shuttle floated toward the giant ship. As it got close, everyone held their breath. They expected the same result: silence, rejection, or worse. Then something impossible happened. The surface of Oblivion changed. A door appeared, smooth, clean, and glowing. It opened with a soft hiss, like the ship was breathing. For the first time in 2 centuries, the ship had accepted someone. The galaxy watched in complete silence. On hundreds of planets, screens showed the human shuttle docking. Across stations, ships, and homes, beings leaned forward. Nobody laughed now. Inside the shuttle, the human team checked their suits and gear. The engineer, Malik, said, "I don't trust it. Feels like a trap." The AI expert, Lynn, nodded. "It's too quiet." But Rhea gave the order. "We go in, carefully." As the team stepped through the glowing doorway, their boots touched the smooth metal floor of the alien ship. It was strangely warm. Lights flickered on along the corridor, like the ship was showing them the way. One soldier looked back at the shuttle. "Still there," he said. Then, the doorway behind them vanished. No noise, no warning. It simply closed, seamless, like it was never there. They tried to contact the shuttle. Nothing. Their signals bounced back. Even their backup systems failed. They were completely cut off. Panic started to rise. Lynn tapped her wrist device. No signal, no exit. "We're trapped." But Rhea stayed calm. "We keep moving. The ship let us in for a reason." As they walked forward, the lights followed them. The walls were strange, smooth, with no seams, no wires, no marks of tools. It felt alive. The hallway split into 3 paths. Before anyone could decide, a symbol lit up above the middle path. Lynn scanned it. It says, Truth. They chose the middle path. As they walked deeper, the temperature changed. Warmer. They felt pressure in the air. A humming sound started. It wasn't from machines. It felt like breathing. A living thing. The lights began to change color, slowly pulsing from blue to red and back again. Then a voice spoke. It wasn't loud, but it echoed inside their minds. You are the first. Everyone stopped, eyes wide. They looked around. No one had spoken, but they all heard it. You may walk, you may see, but only the worthy shall lead. It was the ship. Oblivion had spoken. For the first time in known history, the ancient ship had chosen a species to enter. And it had not chosen the oldest or the strongest. It had chosen humans. Outside, ships across the galaxy recorded the event. Panic spread through empires. Warnings were sent. Questions exploded. Why humans? What made them worthy? What was the ship planning? Inside, Captain Rhea looked forward with calm eyes. She knew one thing now. This was just the beginning. The silence inside the ship was heavy. Every step the humans took echoed down the endless metal hallway. The lights above them shifted from blue to red and back again, as if the ship was breathing. They didn't know where they were going. The walls had no signs, no markings, and no way back. The door behind them was gone. No signal, no sound from outside. They were completely alone. Captain Rhea kept walking at the front, her hand resting on her weapon. Stay close. Don't speak unless you have to, she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were sharp. The ship had let them in, but it hadn't said why. The message still echoed in her mind. Only the worthy shall lead. Behind her, Malik scanned the walls with his handheld device. These materials, they're not in our database. Not metal, not stone. Something new. Lynn, the AI expert, was typing on her wrist computer. I've tried 10 different ways to talk to our shuttle. Nothing works. It's like the ship is blocking every signal. One of the soldiers, Hayes, tightened his grip on his rifle. Feels like we're walking into a trap. Suddenly, the lights dimmed. The group stopped. Everything went dark. For 5 long seconds, there was no light at all. Then, a voice whispered. It was not loud. It was not human. But every one of them heard it clearly in their minds. Who are you? The team froze. Hayes spun around, gun raised. Who said that? Malik shook his head. No one moved. That was inside my head. Lynn looked pale. It's using direct neural communication. It's reading us, watching us. Captain Rhea spoke, trying to stay calm. We're explorers from Earth. We were invited. There was no answer. The lights slowly came back on, but now they flickered. Shadows danced on the walls. And the voice returned, deeper this time. Many have entered. All have lied. All have died. A cold chill went down their spines. Keep moving, Rhea ordered. They walked forward, but now every shadow felt like a threat. They passed rooms on each side, empty chambers with strange shapes and dark machines. Some rooms had old markings, symbols from alien languages. One room had bones, long, twisted skeletons, not human. Hayes stepped back. Those are Sarn bones. They went missing decades ago. Malik scanned them. No signs of weapons. No wounds. It's like they just dropped dead. As they moved on, they noticed something else. Faint whispers, just at the edge of hearing. Not the voice from before. These were different. Personal. Malik stopped. Did you hear that? Someone said my name. Rhea turned. No one spoke. I swear I heard my sister's voice. She died 5 years ago. Lynn looked up. It's reading memories now, pulling voices from our minds, trying to confuse us. Hayes cursed. I don't like this. This place is playing games. They turned a corner and found a large, circular room. The walls were covered in glowing patterns. A platform rose in the center, with 5 stone-like chairs around it. As they stepped closer, the lights grew brighter. Then the voice returned. Sit, speak only truth. The team looked at each other. No one moved. Sit, Hayes said. What happens if we do? Lynn whispered, we don't know, but I think we have to. Captain Rhea stepped forward. I'll go first. She sat in one of the chairs. It was cold. As soon as she sat, the platform began to glow. Why do you come? The voice asked. I came to understand, Rhea said. To explore, to learn what this ship is. There was silence. Then the light turned green. She was safe. Lynn sat next. Do you fear death? The voice asked. Yes, she said honestly, but I came anyway. Green light again. Malik sat. The voice asked, would you harm others to gain control? He paused. Only if I had no choice. The light flickered. Yellow. A long moment passed. Then it turned green. Hayes was last. He looked nervous. As he sat, the voice asked, do you trust the ones beside you? He looked at Rhea, then Malik, then Lynn. Yes, he said. The light stayed green. The center of the platform opened. A staircase appeared, leading down into the ship's core. The voice spoke once more. You may enter. The test begins. They all looked at each other. That was just the start. Captain Rhea stood. Let's go. As they walked down the steps, the whispers stopped. The air grew colder. The lights dimmed. Something deep below was waiting. Something old. Something powerful. And it knew everything about them. Outside the ship, the galaxy watched in fear. A ship had rejected thousands before. Now, it was opening itself to humans. No one knew what that meant. But one thing was clear. Oblivion had not chosen by accident. The stairs led deep into the ship, far below anything they had seen before. Each step echoed in the silence. The walls changed as they walked, no longer smooth and clean. Now they looked older, like ancient stone carved by something long ago. Strange symbols glowed softly on the sides, and the air grew colder with every step. It felt less like a machine, and more like something alive. No one spoke. Captain Rhea walked in front, her eyes focused. Behind her, Lynn kept scanning the area, but her tools were useless. No power signals, no heat, nothing. It's like this place doesn't follow any normal rules. Malik stayed close to the wall, watching for traps. Hayes had his weapon ready, eyes wide. They had all felt the ship's power already. Whatever test was coming, it wouldn't be easy. Finally, the stairs opened into a massive chamber. The ceiling was so high it disappeared into darkness. In the center was a circle of floating platforms, each one glowing faint blue. Below them was a black pit that seemed endless. Across the gap was a wide door, sealed tight. The voice returned. Only one may pass. Only the worthy may open the gate. The team looked at each other. What does that mean? Malik asked. Maybe we have to choose, Lynn said softly. One person goes forward. The others don't. Hayes frowned. That's insane. We came as a team. Rhea stepped toward the platforms. No, we don't choose. The ship chooses. A platform lit up beneath her feet. She didn't move. Then another lit up beneath Lynn. Then one under Malik. Hayes's platform remained dark. The voice spoke again. To lead, one must understand fear, pain, and truth. The test begins now. Suddenly, the floor beneath Rhea vanished, and she fell through a tunnel of light. She hit the ground hard and rolled onto her back. She was alone, inside a new room. The walls shimmered like glass, showing strange images. She saw Earth, She saw her family. She saw war, death, her past, her fears. Then a figure stepped from the wall. It looked like her father, but his face was wrong. Cold, empty. "Why did you leave us?" the figure asked. Rhea blinked. "You're not real." "Why did you let your brother die?" She shook her head. "That wasn't my fault. You gave the order." Rhea's heart pounded. The room was pressing into her mind. It wanted her guilt, her pain. "I did what I had to," she whispered. The figure stepped closer. "You call that leadership?" She didn't answer. She dropped to one knee, eyes closed, breathing slowly. "You're not him. You're just noise." The figure melted away. Then the voice returned. Pain accepted. Truth held. Worthy. The door behind her opened. She stepped through. Meanwhile, Malik stood alone in a dark hallway. Lights flickered. He heard voices, his own voice, shouting lies, making deals, hiding things. He saw a younger version of himself, taking bribes during an engineering job. He had caused a power failure that killed 5 people. It was a secret he had buried deep. The younger Malik looked at him. "You never told anyone." "I was scared," Malik said. "It was a mistake." "Will you tell them now?" Malik hesitated. "Yes." The lights grew bright. Truth spoken, burden-faced, worthy. Lynn stood in a chamber full of machines. I-code floated in the air like smoke. A voice whispered, "You created something that learned to kill." Lynn's eyes filled with tears. "That AI was shut down. I stopped it. You made it. It wanted to protect. It killed instead." "I know," she said softly. "I still see their faces. I still hear them scream." "Do you regret it?" "Yes." The machines faded away. Mistake owned. Lesson learned. Worthy. Up above, Hayes stood alone on the platform. The floor under his feet shook, but never opened. He waited, but nothing came. He looked down into the black pit, unsure if he should jump. Then the voice spoke directly to him. "You hide your truth. You fear your own heart. You are not ready." He gritted his teeth. "Then test me." The voice replied, "You have already failed." The platform under Hayes vanished. He screamed as he fell into the darkness. Rhea, Malik, and Lynn met at the gate. Their eyes were tired, faces pale, but something in them had changed. They had passed through fear, through guilt, through pain, and they were still standing. The great door ahead of them opened slowly. Beyond it was light, bright and golden. Warm wind blew gently. It looked like a new world, a beautiful, quiet land that stretched into the distance. But in the center stood a single chair. It looked ancient, powerful, waiting. The voice spoke one last time. "One may sit, one may lead. The others must follow or turn away." The test was not over. Now, one of them had to become the Helm. The 3 of them, Rhea, Malik, and Lynn, stood at the edge of the new world inside the ship. The golden light bathed their faces, but none of them smiled. In the center of the glowing land stood a single chair. It looked like it was made of stone and metal, smooth and ancient. Symbols ran along its arms, glowing faint blue. A soft wind moved across the ground like a breath. The ship's voice echoed around them. "One may lead, one may take the helm. The others must step back." The words were clear. Only one of them could sit. Only one of them would be chosen. The rest would be left behind. Malik took a slow step forward. "Maybe it should be you, Rhea. You're the captain." Rhea shook her head. "This isn't a military rank. The ship doesn't care about titles. It wants something deeper." Lynn crossed her arms. "So how do we decide?" "We just vote." "No," Rhea said softly. "We let the ship decide." She looked up, speaking to the air. "You brought us here. You tested us. So choose, or give us a way to know." There was silence. Then the ground in front of them split. 3 paths opened, each leading into a different doorway. Each path glowed a different color: red, white, and black. The voice returned. One path will lead to truth, one to fear, one to death. Choose your path. The wind stopped. Time seemed to pause. Malik stepped toward the red path. This one feels right. I'll take it. Lynn pointed at the white one. I'll go here. It's quiet, peaceful. Rhea looked at the black path. It was dark, cold, and filled with shadows. She felt a chill. I guess that leaves me with this, she said. She looked at them both. Be careful. They nodded, and each of them stepped into their chosen path. Rhea walked through the black tunnel. Shadows moved around her. The walls seemed to whisper. Old memories returned. The day her brother died. The mission she failed. The people she couldn't save. She stopped walking. I've already faced this, she said out loud. You're not testing me. You're trying to break me. The shadows closed in, and from the dark stepped a figure. It was herself, but not just a copy. It was her with blood on her hands, with cold eyes. No mercy. You're not ready, the figure said. Rhea stepped forward. Then I'll never be ready, but I'll still lead, even broken. She walked through the image. The darkness vanished. She stood in a bright room. The path had brought her back to the throne. She had passed. Malik's red path was full of lights, blinking symbols, puzzles, and machines. He had to solve problems quickly. Doors opened only after perfect answers. Heat rose with each mistake. He used everything he knew: math, logic, memory. Sweat ran down his face. One wrong answer nearly got him crushed by a falling gate. But he kept going, step by step, puzzle by puzzle. He reached the end, breathless. The last gate opened. He returned to the throne room. Lynn walked the white path in silence. It was peaceful, too peaceful. Flowers grew in glowing fields. Birds sang. She smiled at first, until she realized she couldn't feel her own heartbeat. She knelt and touched the ground. It felt fake. This isn't real, she whispered. Suddenly, everything froze. The birds stopped mid-flight. The flowers turned to ash. A voice spoke inside her head. You want peace more than truth. You want comfort, not command. She stood tall. I want peace because I've known chaos. That doesn't make me weak. The voice went silent. Then the white world shattered like glass. She returned to the throne chamber. Now, all three stood again before the chair. The ship spoke one final time. You were tested, your past faced, your mind weighed. But only one may take the helm. One mind must guide. One will be joined. The chair glowed. A line of light stretched from it toward Rhea. She looked at it, stunned, then looked at the others. I don't know what it means to be joined, but if I do this, I won't back out. Malik nodded. It chose you. Lynn smiled softly. We'll follow. Rhea walked slowly to the chair. She sat, and everything changed. The ship lit up. Lights all over the walls came alive. The ground shook. The throne connected to her body, her mind, her memories. She saw stars, worlds, languages, history. She wasn't just inside the ship. She was now part of it. The voice that had spoken before now became her own. She felt its age, its pain, its mission. It was not just a ship. It was a guardian, a judge, a weapon. And now, she was in control. Outside, the ship's engines roared to life. After 1,000 years of silence, across the galaxy, alien leaders panicked. Alarms rang in war rooms. Old records flashed red. The ship, Oblivion, had chosen a pilot, and that pilot was human. Alarms screamed across the galaxy, in every corner of space, on planets, stations, and battlecruisers. Red warnings flashed. Old sensors picked up something they hadn't seen in 1,000 years. The Oblivion had awakened. And worse, it had chosen a pilot. Inside the massive ship, Rhea sat on the glowing throne. Her hands gripped its arms tightly. She couldn't move. She didn't need to. The ship was already inside her mind. She could see everything. Stars, planets, ships floating in orbit. She could feel the energy pulsing through the ship's core, alive and ancient. She could even hear its memories. It had been built long ago, by a race now long dead. A guardian ship, a judge of civilizations. It had watched wars. It had destroyed empires. But after its creators were gone, it went silent. Waiting, watching, searching for someone worthy. It had tested thousands of species. None had passed. Until now. Rhea opened her eyes. Light shined from them like stars. Malik and Lynn stepped back. Her body looked the same, but her presence felt larger. "Rhea?" Malik asked carefully. She smiled faintly. "I'm still me, but I also see more now." The ship's voice echoed through her own. Threats detected. 10 ships approaching. Weapons hot. Species. Tharn Dominion. Rhea saw them in her mind. Sleek warships cutting through space, fast and armed. "They're here to destroy us," she said calmly. Lynn tapped a console. "We haven't even left orbit yet." Malik frowned. "What do we do?" Rhea stood from the throne. "We show them that the Oblivion has returned." The ship's walls shifted. Lights flared. Giant engines hummed like thunder. Outside, the Tharn fleet closed in. They had feared this day. They had buried the ship in lies and stories, hoping it would never rise again. Now it had. The lead Tharn captain barked commands. "Fire on the human ship. Now." Lasers shot forward, bright and fast. But they never hit. The Oblivion moved without sound. It didn't dodge. It bent space around itself. The beams curved away like water around stone. Then it answered. One pulse. Just one. A blue shockwave spread from the ship. Silent. Beautiful. The Tharn fleet shattered in seconds. Ships cracked. Systems failed. Lights went out. One by one, they vanished from sensors. In the control room, Malik gasped. We didn't even launch a missile." "We didn't need to," Rhea said. "The ship knows how to defend itself." Lynn looked at her. "You said you were still you. But how much of you is left?" Rhea looked down at her hands. "I don't know." Word of the event spread fast. Across the galaxy, leaders trembled. For years, they had tried to hide the truth. The Oblivion was real. And now, a human was in control. Some councils met in secret. Some prepared for war. Others ran. But one thing was certain. Balance had changed. Back on Earth, the human government received a message. From Rhea herself. Her voice was clear. "The ship has awakened. I am its pilot. We are not your enemy. But I will protect humanity from any threat. And the galaxy will listen. Or it will burn." It was a message of warning. And of power. Inside the ship, Rhea sat again in the throne. She had more control now. She could pull away from the full connection when she needed to. But the ship was always there, waiting, listening. She turned to Malik and Lynn. "I want to show you something." She led them deeper into the ship, to a chamber they hadn't seen before. It looked like a giant map of the galaxy, but not just stars. It showed history, battles, races, hidden truths. In one corner was a small symbol, Earth. Next to it, a glowing red mark. Lynn frowned. Why is Earth marked like that? Rhea touched it. The image zoomed in. She saw something that made her freeze. Malik read it out loud. Species classified as unstable. Aggressive. Potential galactic threat. Lynn's eyes widened. That's why they feared us. Rhea nodded slowly. They didn't just ban us from their wars. They were preparing to erase us. before we could rise. Malik stepped back. That means they'll come again. Stronger. Ria's face hardened. Let them come. The ship's lights grew brighter, responding to her voice. We're not just going to defend Earth, she said. We're going to show them that humanity doesn't kneel. Lynn stepped forward. Then what do we do first? Ria pointed at a part of the map. It pulsed with red. A system full of warships. A place where humans had once been attacked. We take back what was stolen, she said. And then we teach them what it means to fear the Helm. The galaxy held its breath. The oblivion had returned, and with it, humanity had sent a warning. But now, the galaxy waited for the next move. Would the humans hide behind their new power, or would they strike? The answer came fast. Ria stood at the center of the command chamber. The ship pulsed with energy around her. Malik and Lynn stood beside her, watching the map of the galaxy light up. Target systems, enemy fleets, secret bases, all exposed by the ship's ancient memory. She pointed to one. This one, the Velari stronghold. Malik's jaw tightened. They destroyed a human colony 20 years ago, called it an accident. No one believed them. They lied, Lynn said, and the galaxy let them. Ria nodded. No more lies. The oblivion turned, engines glowing like suns, and shot through space, faster than any ship ever built. The stars stretched like streaks of light outside the windows. In hours, they reached the Velari system. The Velari were proud. They ruled 3 planets and had a fleet of 30 warships. Their cities floated in the sky, their towers reaching the clouds. They believed no one could touch them. Until the sky opened. The oblivion appeared in orbit. The Velari leaders panicked. Their council met in emergency. Ships scrambled into position. Warnings echoed in every city. And then a message came. It wasn't just sound. It was everywhere. It echoed in their speakers, their screens, their minds. This is Ria of Earth, pilot of the oblivion. You killed innocent humans. You erased the truth. You watched as we suffered. This ends now. The Velari High Commander stood tall in his chamber. She's bluffing, he hissed. Fire everything. Dozens of missiles launched. The oblivion didn't move. Its defense shield activated on its own. The missiles vanished before they reached it, sucked into a sphere of light. No noise. No fire. Just gone. Then the ship responded. It didn't destroy the Velari. Not yet. It spoke again. This is your one warning. Submit or face judgment. The Velari fleet moved closer. Their biggest battleship charged its main cannon. Ria's eyes glowed. So be it. One command. One shot. A beam of white light left the oblivion, silent and sharp. It touched the Velari flagship, and in a flash, the ship vanished. Not destroyed. Erased. As if it had never existed. The rest of the fleet stopped moving. Silence. Panic. Surrender. The Velari Council sent a reply in minutes. We surrender. The system is yours. Please, no more death. Ria didn't smile. She only said, send this message to every system. Let the galaxy know. The next day, across thousands of worlds, people saw it. A message broadcasted on every channel, in every language. Humanity is not weak. We are not fools. We are not forgotten. We remember the lies. We remember the wars. And now, the galaxy will remember us. It ended with the image of Earth, and the symbol of the oblivion rising above it. On a distant planet, hidden deep in the outer rim, a council of old species gathered. Leaders of ancient empires, creatures older than Earth itself. One of them slammed its clawed hand on the table. We waited too long. The ship has bonded with a human. Another hissed, we must act, before it's too late. The oldest one, the Speaker of the Shadows, raised its hand. No, we cannot fight the oblivion. Not directly. But we can stop the pilot. How? The speaker smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. We kill her. Back aboard the Oblivion, Rhea felt a cold chill. The ship's voice spoke in her mind. Danger rises. Assassins, hidden weapons, plots in the dark. Malik looked at her. What is it? Rhea turned slowly. Someone's coming for me. They won't fight us with ships anymore. They'll try to kill me from the inside. Lynn frowned. Can the ship stop them? Only if I let it inside me completely, Rhea whispered. Malik's eyes widened. What does that mean? I won't be just connected, she said. I'll become part of the ship. Forever. Lynn stepped forward. If you do that, you won't be human anymore. Rhea looked out the window, at the stars. I don't think I ever was. At least not the way they want me to be. The ship pulsed gently, as if waiting. She turned back to them. I need time, she said. We all do. But first, we prepare. They're not done with us. Malik nodded. Then let them come. Lynn smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. We'll be ready. The Oblivion moved again, silent, powerful, and watching. And across the galaxy, the enemies of Earth began to gather for one final strike. The galaxy had never been so silent. Since the Oblivion returned and Rhea took control, everything changed. Some races submitted, others hid, but a few planned revenge. They didn't send ships this time. They sent shadows. Assassins, spies, poison, mind attacks, all aimed at one person, Rhea. Inside the ship, she felt them coming before anyone else did. The Oblivion warned her. It showed her visions of knives in the dark and voices filled with hate. She barely slept. Her body stayed strong, but her mind felt heavy. Malik noticed it first. You're fading, he said softly one night. I'm becoming something else, Rhea whispered. The ship wants me to fully bond. It's the only way I'll survive what's coming. Lynn frowned. What happens if you do? I'll lose what's left of being human. Silence. Then Malik said, but you'll live, and we'll fight beside you, no matter what you become. Rhea looked at them, eyes glowing like stars. You still see me. That's all that matters. Days later, they arrived near a dead zone, a place once full of life, now just wreckage and silence. A trap. The Council of Shadows had gathered here. 13 ancient races. They brought weapons older than stars. Machines that could crush moons. Psychic bombs that tore thoughts apart. And they waited. When the Oblivion arrived, they didn't fire right away. Instead, a message came. Leave the ship. Step down, Rhea of Earth, or be erased from time. Rhea stood at the command deck. She didn't blink. She didn't laugh. She simply said, I choose judgment. Then, she sat on the throne one last time and let the Oblivion in completely. The transformation was instant. Her body lit up, veins glowing, skin shining with soft silver light. Her heartbeat slowed, her mind stretched beyond human limits. She could feel space, time, life and death. She was no longer just Rhea. She was the Oblivion's true pilot. And now, the galaxy's final judge. The enemy fleet moved in. Weapons charged. One ship fired first, a massive cannon meant to destroy planets. The Oblivion didn't dodge. It caught the beam in mid-space, froze it. Rhea raised one hand. The ship responded. A beam of white light cut through space like a blade. The first enemy ship exploded, then the second, the third. The rest broke formation and tried to flee. Too late. The Oblivion opened hundreds of portals at once, tiny windows of light. Its beams came through each one, striking targets across light years. It didn't just fight with power. It fought with knowledge. It knew where every weakness was, every lie, every betrayal, and it remembered. Back on Earth, people watched the final battle. The sky lit up with transmissions. Some cried. Some cheered. But all watched as the galaxy that had once feared and hated them finally faced justice. Inside the ship, Rhea floated above the throne. Her voice echoed across space, not through speakers, but in the minds of every leader, every soldier, every being who had raised a hand against humanity. You judged us. You exiled us. You feared our strength before we even used it. Now you learn what true strength means. One by one, enemy ships were disarmed. Cities went dark. Weapons froze in place. Entire systems were locked by the ship's control. But Rhea didn't destroy them. She stopped and waited. Then she spoke again. We are not your enemy, but we are not your prey. Earth will never kneel again. The next time you choose war, remember this moment. And just like that, the ship powered down its weapons. The enemies were left broken, but alive. Rhea had given them a gift. A second chance. Days passed. The Oblivion returned to Earth. It hovered above the planet like a silent guardian. Inside, Rhea remained. She could no longer leave. Her body was part of the ship now. Her mind, too large for normal life. Malik and Lynn visited her often. Through the ship, she still spoke to them. I don't miss the pain, she said once, but I miss the feeling of holding someone's hand. Malik placed his palm on the ship's wall. You're not alone. Lynn smiled. You're the reason Earth still stands. And Earth did more than stand. It rose. Other species reached out, not with threats, but with peace. The galaxy had changed forever, not because of a war, but because of a message. Humanity remembers. Humanity forgives. But humanity never backs down. And deep in space, the stars watched. The Oblivion rested, waiting, watching, and ready, if ever the galaxy forgot again. Let me know if you'd like a title screen script, intro line, or voiceover narration for the full video version of this story.